Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers, I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna, promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being old mama, yeah, treat yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future, know you wanna. She'll never betray ya, she ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming, yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being old mama, yeah, treat yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being old mama, yeah, treat yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life.
So you're all working incredibly hard.
Bring back Harry, please, sir. Please. Can you bring him back, sir?
Who?
Harry, your son. Thank you, sir.
We lost you.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope you're all doing well and that you had a great weekend. We are all rested. Did everybody watch this? Well, maybe not everybody, but did my American friend watch the Super Bowl? I feel like everybody around the world watches the halftime now online, but really it's you guys that watch the game, right? Do we have any hardcore NFL fans? Or do we literally just watch the Super Bowl and the ads? Because I've heard people say that. I just watch watch the halftime and the ads. Because I've heard people say that they just watch the halftime and the ads. Great. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Welcome everybody. Wow, already 400 in the chat. Just making sure all the usuals are here. Thank you as always to the mods. Jill Woodcock, happy Valentine's Day in advance. Thank you. I think we'll have a Galentine's Day and have a have a squaddy meet up because I do not have a date. To be honest with you, I'm not even thinking about Valentine's. I'm really not. Like, I've got too many other things to do. EMG, you said I didn't watch it as I don't like sports. Fair enough. Mina, you don't watch sports. Julianne, you did. Okay. Kathy G, football fan. Fantastic. Kiki, you said I watched some of it. I was there for the halftime. I don't support the NFL. Oh, that I can understand. Yeah, Jay Patterson, I'm sorry to all of the Rihanna haters. There's a lot of things that Rihanna has done and said that annoy me, yes. But when it came to that performance, I loved it. I give flowers where people deserve their flowers. I love the performance. A lot of people were saying that it was boring, that there was no guests and all of the usual razzmatazz that you get with a halftime show, and that's what I liked about it. I'm sorry, but listen. We don't need a Beyonce scale production every single year. Sometimes strip it back. Strip it back and just do something simple. And I feel like that's what they did. They just focused on Rihanna's hits and Rihanna. And boy, has she given us some incredible hits over the years. And hopefully she will come back and continue to. But that's really what I felt when I watched this performance. It was just stripped back, focused on her songs and what she's given us musically throughout the years. Rihanna has never been like, a super dancer. She has a very unique voice, but it's not like, it's not like a powerhouse voice, but it's hers, and that it's hers. So I thought it was a great performance, but we'll get into that in a sec. Yes, why I enjoyed Rihanna won the Super Bowl. Rihanna and her bump. Right, let's get into it. Yes, Marina, you almost forget, like, she has all of those hits. Okay. Let me just load up my first slide. And we'll get into all of that. And a small little guest appearance from Harry and Meghan at the Super Bowl too. Did anybody catch that? So, first of all, little trip down memory lane. Little trip down memory lane. This article came out the 12th of February 2022. So this is early last year. The Queen passed away in September. But they were writing articles, the Daily Fail, via the Invisible Contract, were writing articles about Charles and Camilla to be crowned side by side in a scaled-down coronation, codenamed Operation Golden Orb, that would be shorter and cheaper revealed. Well, we know that's not entirely true. Shorter, maybe. Cheaper, I don't know. But it begs the question, why were they writing articles like this back in February? Did they already know that Lizzie's health was in serious decline? And if they did, just quite frankly, how tasteless to put something like this out. Also, if you notice, the journalist who wrote this article was Kate Manzi. Kate Manzi, who wrote another article regarding Prince Harry's security, which is currently under dispute. I think they actually launched a lawsuit against her and that article. So this is definitely someone who has close access to the palace. And some of the things that were written in this article included that the Queen had declared it was her sincere wish that Camilla would be known as Queen Consort in the fullness of her time. Well, now they're just going straight ahead and calling her Queen Camilla. And that behind the scenes plans are underway for an overhaul of the only remaining religious coronation in Europe. Religious coronation that will coronate 2 adulterers. But they were already talking about the coronation all the way back then. So little trip down memory lane, this time last year. Also, Kerry Katona has hit back at Miss Wham Bam. Sorry, Miss Miss Wham Bam. Thank you, ma'am. Miss Sasha Walpole, who is absolutely milking it. She says, seeing Sasha Walpole, the woman who took Prince Harry's virginity in the field, speak out in interviews has infuriated me, she fumed in her column for OK Mag. She claims her privacy has been breached following the publication of his book Spare. Nobody would have known who you were if you hadn't revealed yourself, sweetheart. Absolutely. And thank you, Cara Katona, for saying it. Cara Katona is a former girl band member of the girl group Atomic Kitten, who were very, very big in the UK. They were like UK famous, but one of the biggest girl bands in the UK at the time. And she is someone who's faced the wrath of the British media pretty much her entire career. At one point, they just turned her into a caricature. And, well, I mean, thank goodness she survived because they were rather nasty to her as well. Also, the Met has apologized to Caroline Flack's mother over their handling of the complaint that was filed against Caroline. Obviously, Caroline took her own life in February of 2020 amid a media storm that she was awaiting a court appearance with charges of assaulting her boyfriend at the time. But now the Metropolitan Police has told her mother that they were sincerely sorry for failing to maintain full records of their reasons for wanting to charge Flack with assault. But nonetheless, the tabloids ran with that story, and in the most grotesque and disgusting way. And Caroline was already quite vulnerable. We know that Dan Whatnot was quite heavily involved in the press bullying of her, and the end result was her taking her own life, unfortunately. So, I mean, I don't think that that will offer much healing to Caroline's mother, but she's definitely owed that apology. Also, the pub where Harry had a Humpty Dump is now considering putting a blue plaque. Why would you do that? Why would you want to do that? Who would want to go and see that? But apparently that's what they're planning to do. And with that, I think I will never talk about this story again. I don't want to talk about it again. I am so done talking about this story. The Royal Family Channel, they posted this. A picture, actually no, I think it was a video of Kate hugging people in a crowd, and with the caption, some believe there may be a hidden meaning behind Catherine's affectionate actions, and it could be a pushback against the Duchess of Sussex. Cannot keep Meghan out of their mouths. And as Jazza said on Twitter in response to this, I don't normally comment on these posts, but if you are only hugging people after Harry wrote how recalled at it, Meghan mentioned y'all weren't into hugging much, all of a sudden hugging everybody just confirms that you were as cold as they say. Exactly. This is the problem I feel with the firm and the courtiers. They are so focused on pushing back on really petty things that just don't matter that they're not looking at the bigger picture. So they've got Catherine out here hugging everybody and their grandmother. Still no impact. Still no important work. We still don't know what Shaping Us exactly is doing. We still don't even know what the Big Five questions was meant to do. And they are so hyper-focused on little petty things like this. And there were numerous articles that were posted about Meghan's hugging, breaking protocol, and oops, Meghan did it again. Meghan's hugging people. I mean, God forbid the woman should hug someone. I mean, you'd think that Meghan was meeting young ladies in Pizza Huts, or was it Pizza Expresses? To your comments. Let's see. Hi everyone, if you're just joining us. YM Droid, next up, a quote from the grass they rolled around on. I mean, I feel like that's exactly what a Daily Fail headline would be. Sources from the flowers and grass that they rolled around on claim. That's exactly what that Daily Fail headline is gonna be, for real. Ugh, horrid. Yes, Denise, always comparing Meghan to themselves when there's just no comparison. Please keep our good sister's name out of your mouth and just focus on yourselves. We've got a whole coronation coming up, and they're not focusing on that. Oh, thank you so much to YM Droid for joining membership. Much appreciated. And also Maggie Margaret for the 5 coffees. Very generous of you. Thank you. And you know, guys, obviously we've given to the podcast. It's always 100% up to you how much you give, when you give, where you give. If you want to give through YouTube, that's absolutely fine. But I always do just remind you that YouTube takes 30% of whatever you do give to me. So I do just prefer it if it's through the other channels. But again, that is up to you. I'm just grateful for your time, let alone your monetary generosity. Yeah, mad world. So Kate would prefer to hug strangers rather than her own sister-in-law. Incredible. Hi, Dorothy Ross. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for just joining us. Okay, on to the next thing. Let's race through because there's quite a few things to get to. Angela Latrine. Angela Latrine is back, everyone. Not that she ever went away, but she went quite quiet for a while. Please do not forget that Angela Latrine wrote Camilla's biography. She was given the go-ahead. And this is what she tweeted today. What goes around comes around. Sources say Harry is shivering in his boots about royal retaliation. He must know he's disrespected his father and brother's privacy, so no reason to be surprised if and when he is exposed. He should have trod much more carefully. This is a straight up threat. This is very similar to a lot of those articles we saw just after Harry and Meghan left the firm. And there were articles that kind of had this tone of Harry's making a car crash decision. This is a car crash thing that Harry's doing. Do you all remember those articles that came out that had those type of headlines? And the fact that this is someone who is close to Camilla is even more frightening. I actually believe that Camilla and William are the two most dangerous people in this whole royal equation. William more so, but out of the two royal houses, those two are the most dangerous. And as Trevor Hallett said, sources say, is this a joke? What sources do you have that know anything about Harry? What will the royal retaliation be? A smear campaign? Oh no, they've been doing that for years. What a clown you are. And for her to come out and say this when that invisible contract begins to become more and more visible, it just shows that I think the royal household is just not going to back down. Very unwise, if you ask me, because I think that people are starting to slowly understand exactly what has gone on here as far as this smear campaign against Meghan and Harry goes, but more so against Meghan. And what I'm actually seeing more and more, I'm not going to put the articles up because I honestly don't want to give them clicks. I have seen quite a string of articles recently of certain journalists who appear to be doing a 360, who are now all of a sudden Team Sussex. They're pro Harry and Meghan. They see the wrongs of the firm and the tabloid press, and all of a sudden they have a very positive tone on the couple. And I'm suspicious of this only because I know how well the press can bait and switch, but also because I do wonder if more of these publications and more of these tabloid journalists are starting to realize that the tide is turning. And when the tide does fully turn and people wake up 100% to what has been going on, they don't want to be on the side that looks like they're team anti-Sussex. Even though they've been part of the smear campaign for 6 years and we have those receipts and we will not let them forget it, they are now trying to rewrite their narrative and how they look. So I would just say when you see positive articles about Harry and Meghan, especially when it comes from publications that have been um anti Sussex all this time, just be careful. I'm not saying don't support those articles because we need to push those articles because to be honest, we do too much to push the negative articles. Can't be helped sometimes. But I'm just saying, um just be careful because now that the tide is turning, a lot of people are going to jump on that pro Sussex train because they just don't want the heat of what is coming. And I do think that this court case against the Daily Mail, they've got charges of phone hacking, wiretapping, um, surveillance or putting trackers on people's cars, and also phone hacking. I mean, these are very, very serious stalking. These are very, very serious crimes that they're being charged with. Rahini, you think William is the most dangerous? Yeah, out of all of them, I think that William is the most dangerous. But out of the two separate royal houses, I think William is the most dangerous in his, and Camilla is the most dangerous in hers. Yeah, Wendy, Camilla wants power. She doesn't care if it ruins her husband's reign. What power is any of this going to give her anyway? What, she gets to throw more parties with Judi Dench? Is that the power she's looking for? I mean, perhaps in these, aristo political circles, she can wield some kind of power, but nowadays in the culture of celebrity, it's a popularity contest. And the royals, they're just not it anymore. And this is another thing. They're so hyper focused on what Harry and Meghan are doing. I mean, that there's a whole world that keeps spinning every single day. We just had the Super Bowl. That's what everybody was talking about. They weren't talking about anything else, what the royals were doing. And the two most relevant royals got mentioned at the Super Bowl. Right. Next thing. Oh, one of the Meghan haters, one of the most prominent, Lady C. It appears she is not only trolling, but ripping off her fan base. So somebody tweeted this saying, I feel cheated by Lady C saying we would get normal program and members will get extra. As much as I love and wish her the best in making money, I feel ripped off and lied to. Up to 25% less content and hoping we won't notice. And someone captioned this by saying, everyone come see, Lady C has been charging high fees from fans and unable to deliver. They now feel cheated. This is what happens when Harry and Meghan starves them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what extra content they would be looking for, like extra nasty hating videos. That must be a very interesting little club to be in. I don't know. I personally would like to be in a club where I feel uplifted, not listening to this hater here day in, day out. And then her apparently charging extra for membership. Patricia Smithy said, William is frightening. I worry what he is capable of. Yeah. I mean, he was capable of pushing his brother onto the floor. Neva Walters, Candace Owens is married to British-born George Farmer, son to Mark Farmer, members of the House of Lords, treasurer to the Conservative Party. Yes. This is why I don't even understand why Candace Owens, why her own fan base even like her. Because isn't there a whole thing about their anti-establishment? Or if you're anti-establishment, why would you be a fan of someone who is married to a hedge fund manager whose father is in the House of Lords? I mean, that's about as establishment as you can get. I don't know. I don't hang around that side of the internet, so I don't know what they see in her. Okay. On to the next thing. Right. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Camilla has COVID. Or should I say Mr. C? Because I don't know if they're still censoring people on YouTube for saying the C word, but she has Mr. C. Oh, Camilla, darling. Using Mr. C as an excuse to get off of work is so 2020. Like, nobody's even doing that anymore. Um, Miss V having a little bit of humor and saying, I hear ivermectin works for farm animals. A hardy har 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 har. Oh, with the shade. Hardy har har har. Ivermectin, of course, was the drug that was the center of quite a lot of controversy during the pandemic, because of claims that it could help with Mr. C. Some people saying it could, some people saying it couldn't. But it is also used, yes, for farm animals, mainly horses. Hence the joke from V there. Some people are saying that this isn't even real, that they're just doing it for sympathy. I mean, at this point, most people have their jib jabs, and or they've had multiple jib jabs, and uh, you know, the actual fatality rate has gone down in comparison to when the pandemic first started. And so for me, this is not really a, a big deal. Surely she would have, had her jab and her boosters, and she's been fine all this time. So has Charles. I just didn't even think that it was worth a headline or breaking news, to be honest. Looking for sympathy, I think. Um, and isn't this? I don't know. Is this the second time that she's had it, or was it Charles that had it before? I'm losing count. Mama Jane, you think she's lying? It's not true. Well, I mean, whether it's true or not, get some rest, take some vitamins. You're gonna be fine. Um, Maybe Nostradamus was right though. What did he say? Charles may not be king, or may not be king for very long. Oh wait, this is her third time? Really? Second time for Camilla? She had the Rona before. Oh my god. Losing count. Anyway, yeah, that is that. Um, On to the next thing. Rihanna at the Super Bowl. Yes, after what, almost 6 years of no music, she's back. Gave us all of her greatest hits and also revealed her baby bump. She's pregnant with her second child with ASAP Rocky. And I liked the performance. I thought that it was I like that it was very stripped back and simple. I don't think we need the whole Cirque du Soleil Super Bowl every single year. I thought it was actually very Rihanna, this performance. It was very her. And also, I feel like a lot of people just aren't appreciating the stage and lighting and camera work of this performance and their use of staging, the different height and layers. I mean, even people in the bleachers would have been able to be quite get a really, really good view because of the way they raised the stages. And also this young lady was going viral. This was actually sent to me by Lightside. So let me just get her, because I don't want to miss out her name. Give me a moment. So this is a young ASL interpreter who went viral. And let me just grab her name. Oh yeah, Justina Miles. Yes, this is a young Miss Justina Miles who went viral for doing the sign language interpreting for Rihanna's performances. A young African American lady. And it's not that often, actually. I don't think I've actually ever seen a person of color doing sign language for like a big show like this. So good on her. And if you actually go to watch the video, she was really giving, like giving, dancing along. So I'm sure for all those uh, people who need the sign language when they are watching shows like this, that must have been quite fun for them to watch. And it's great that they're actually thinking of being more inclusive. Also, our faves did feature. I can't remember what the name of the streaming service was, but I believe that this was an ad for a streaming service. And basically, you had rabbits that were pushing people down rabbit holes. And then you had clips of different shows, all of the different shows that are streamed on the streaming service. And you saw a little clip of the royal wedding and the Jubilee. So, a good move from the marketing team there for including our faves in their Super Bowl ad. Went viral. Right, that is all from me. I believe Baron is either on or about to come on. So if you want to hop over there, I'm just going to finish with your comments as usual. And thank you all so much for coming. And also everyone for your kind donations, as always. Much appreciated. Have a lovely day. Oh, yes, Tubi, that was it. Thank you so much, Sharpie. The streaming platform was called Tubi. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Nafisa, for the cash out. Much appreciated. Right, let's get to your comments and then we'll call it a day. Really, COVID again. The ancestors are busy. Oh my God. Yeah, the chat is wild today. Super wild. But you like the performance too. Yeah, Denise, it was really unique with the height levels of stages. That's not something I've ever seen at the Super Bowl before. And I quite like the fact that she didn't have any guest appearances. Valerie, you like the Rihanna's concert. Yeah. Football match? What a football match. This was Rihanna's show. Marina, I didn't even notice the sign language girl. I think with the sign language, there's like an option where you can have her or them, whoever it is, pop up on the screen. Maybe that's why you didn't see it. Yeah, Susie, Sasha got a ton of money. Did she get a ton of money? I mean, they only offered Simon Rex like 70,000, which is a lot of money, but that's like what? Okay, if you split it in 2 years of an average pay. Like it's really actually not that much. Like unless you're telling me she got like a cool million, then I would say that's a ton of money. Otherwise, in a year or two, unless she's really smart with her money, unless she really milks it, writes a book, starts a podcast, records an album, goes on a speaking tour, does some comedy. It's really not a lot of money if you think about it long term. Yeah, Valerie, how's Camilla getting Mr. T again? Maybe she didn't have her booster. Right. Who's gonna get the last word of the day? Thank you as always, everyone. You're always amazing. Right, Gwendolyn, I'll give you the last word of the day. Bye, Squaddy family. Have a lovely day. I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.
Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers. I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna. Promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels ya. Know you wanna, she'll never betray ya. She ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming. Yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life.
Are you all working incredibly hard?
Bring back Harry, please, sir. Please. Can you bring him back, sir?
Who?
Harry, your son. Thank you, sir.
We lost you. On this